Melanie
think
in Ohio.
I haven't met Miss Melanie.
I
Nice to
haven't
meet
either.
you. Are you fairly new or just found us?
Brand stinking new. Yeah.
Ah,
Hey,
Brand
awesome.
new agent or brand new to EXP or both?
Both. Mm-hmm.
There you go. Well,
Wow.
welcome
Who,
aboard. Welcome to the
welcome.
craziness of real estate.
yeah.
Glutton for punishment. I mean,
Who's your sponsor, Melanie?
Um, Tim Hollidan is my
Oh,
oh
fantastic.
no, not Tim. I'm just kidding.
Yeah. Well, we'll save you from him. Hopefully,
Yeah.
he don't show up.
Yeah. Well, we're going to start praying for you right now, Melanie.
I'll take it.
Oh, Tim's awesome. Were you on his
Well,
webinar?
he's great. He's great.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. It's good
Would you
stuff.
mind me
How are you
asking?
doing? Have you
Yeah.
have you started the process yet of like setting up funnels and that kind of stuff? Are you getting that going? Where are
Not
you at with
yet.
everything?
No.
Not yet. Yeah.
Yeah.
Different for
Just got
everybody.
I'm meeting with my mentor today in a couple hours.
Very cool.
So
Nice.
Good. There's a lot when you come over here. Just ask anybody.
Yeah.
Cher's been here a few months. Whatever
Yeah.
she's on here, I don't know if she can turn on her camera. She might be busy doing stuff, but no, it's a lot when you first come over.
Yeah.
It can be overwhelming. And I tell people all the time, like, and maybe Tim told you this or Vonda or whoever you've been in with, but just to if you got a Gmail account or Yahoo, whatever you got, like open a folder and just start moving all those EXP emails over there. As you have time, just start going through them. But there's a lot of stuff you don't need like right now. There's some
Mhm.
things you need like right now just to get up and going, but just one piece at a time, one thing at a time. Tim will give you great direction, for sure. Your mentor will give you great direction. So it's a great place to be.
Yeah.
So
It seems like there's a ton of resources and support. So that's
Yeah.
something that
Yeah.
was.
What made you? What did you do before this? Before real estate?
My husband and I have a compliance company, so we work with contractors on federal and state projects, but it's all commercial.
Okay.
But we moved from out of state during the pandemic, and it was a terrible experience. And so I figured that's my niche is be able to help those that are relocating to have a smooth experience. So that's important to me. And most of everyone we know is all I've lived in probably I think 7 or 8 different states. So
Okay.
most of my sphere is not local.
Okay. Did you see? I don't know if you've gotten this far yet. Maybe not. Revenos. Have you heard of Revenos with
Yes, I
EXP?
did.
Did you see
Mhm.
the relocation piece in there?
I don't think so. Some of those I saw before I even was finished getting my my test pass.
Yeah,
So I
yeah.
have
And again, this is not the place to start, but at some point, just know that it's there. Be aware of it. You can get certified with EXP relocation. It's about a 4-hour class. It's free, and then you will now be on the list to be eligible to get relocation leads sent to you.
oh,
My wife and I worked together. I think we've probably done, I don't know, 8 or 9 this year, relocation. Same last year. It's kind of for us right now. It's been a few months since we've gotten one. Whatever. I just think a lot of people are holding tight right now to some degree, but we do get those relocation leads. It's nice. Higher referral fee on those. Because it's like a relocation company. There's 2 big relocation companies that EXP partnered up with last year. 60,000 deals were done by EXP agents in relocation. And
oh my
so
goodness.
higher referral fee. Sometimes, like my wife has one right now. Literally, it's a 55%. That's the highest we've ever done. But here's what happens though. Probably 8 out of 10 lead to more deals. We had one last summer. I know it was not this last summer here, not 3 months ago, but last summer, 2024. We had a couple that relocated here. I want to say from Ohio. And we found them a house. It was a 45% referral fee, but it was like a $900,000 house. I mean, we still made like, I don't know, $18,000 on it, whatever it was, which was nice. But it led to 3 more deals.
Oh,
Their 2
fantastic.
kids moved out, several months later, whatever. So we worked with them. And then one of their neighbors down the street, who they became friends with, they were moving and they referred my wife. And so she went out and met them. We listed their house so they could make their move. So that one relo with a 45% referral fee, which I wasn't crazy about, but it led to 3 more deals where we pay no referral fees. We get the whole
Yeah.
thing. So there's a payoff there. It can be many, many times, so it's worth doing. Just know that it's there.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
Anyway, just follow whatever Tim tells you to do. Well, most of what Tim tells you to do.
The 80-20 rule there.
I'm just kidding. Tim is awesome. Tim totally knows what he's doing. We all listen to Tim. Tim's got the spreadsheets and the numbers and the data, and he's that guy, man. He keeps us all kind of on track with some of this stuff because it's so easy just all over the place. Oh wait, let me just look at the numbers. The numbers don't lie, So, can anybody else turn on cameras? Yvette, Sydney, Cher, Rob, it's good to have you guys. We're here to help. You can always sit in on it. We'll just hang out and talk a little bit, but we're happy to answer any questions that you guys have or anything you guys want to talk about. That's kind of what today is for. So here comes Sydney. Hey, Sydney.
There's another brave one.
Turning on her camera.
Well, and did you tell Melanie? Did you tell Melanie, Jeff, what today's for? So today is just open collaboration. So our agents come and we just talk about whatever it is that they've got going on or any questions you have or any of that. So it's just an open forum, and every Wednesday is a little bit different. On Tuesdays, we have, somebody come that's doing sales at a high level and do a training for us on this same Zoom link. And then if you're interested in the revenue share component of it, that's Monday and Thursday. But today's just open forum. So
yeah.
Yeah, it could even be questions about onboarding, Melanie. If anything, any questions at all.
Yeah, anything. If you have anything, like, hey, I got this far now. I don't even know what to do next.
Cher's coming on. Hey, Cher. Hello. Cher got her makeup on. She can get on camera now. No,
I don't share, and I'm on camera.
I'm just kidding.
There's no makeup on this face.
But you look great.
Exactly. Look good.
Buddy.
Oh, I'll see how we go. I didn't hear that.
Oh man, I threw water on my hair. Did one of these things. Yeah, threw another sweatshirt on. So,
did you have a question, Cher?
No, well, honestly, I'm in a survival state. I'll just put it that way because it's just like my husband's unemployed, and I had clung on to Kelly and her story about her husband being unemployed. But I will tell you, this market's not helping.
It's a hard market right now.
But I will say that I did get a referral, and this is why I learned why I don't like working with buyers. Now, I will work with buyers. Don't get me wrong. There's some great ones. But when you got to be careful when you're working with low-hanging fruit because, these referrals and these people really do want to help you. So, for instance, they referred me their mother who's moving back into town. She's looking at $100,000, which there's not much for $100,000 except for a tiny home, which we found the tiny home. We got them scheduled. I played out the presentation part, I would say perfectly, got the one-time showing. I'm not obligating them to anything until we actually meet face-to-face. Then we can extend it from there. But as of today, within, like a 48-hour period of time, we confirmed as of yesterday. This morning, she tells me I'm going to cancel. Now, don't get me wrong. I appreciate her letting me know. I did not even waste my time going showing the property since she changed her mind. But this is exactly why I don't like working with lower priced. It seems they're harder work. They don't know what they want. They're so fickle. And it just keeps, when you're in a survival state, keeps your emotions just going like this. And you're like, ugh.
It can be hard.
Yeah.
For sure. First time buyers. I mean, it's just funny. I've seen that. We've worked with a lot of first time buyers over the years, and it's just like, man, oh man, it is. I mean, you earn your money on those. I mean, so much of the time. There's just so much to do, and a lot of that buyer's remorse. It's 3 days before closing, and oh my gosh, are we? Maybe we should do this, and are we doing the right thing? And what if another house comes up that we like better? And all these different things that start going on. And I mean, it's just, oh my gosh, we should get paid as therapists more than even more than real estate. I mean, I'm not kidding you. It's like,
oh, I agree, 100%.
It can be that way sometimes,
Yeah, I have a shirt that has the definition of a realtor, and therapist is one of them. Yeah. One of the definitions.
You're ready, Melanie. This is what you're going to be, counseling these people along the way. Like
that's what they call me at work already. They're looking for a therapy session.
Yeah.
So but for me though, I love first time home buyers because Yes,
That's fine.
they're
No,
nervous and they're skittish, but they're also excited because they're buying their first house. Um, and I have always loved working with them. And what we get to do as realtors is just calm their nerves. We just get to assure them that buying a home is a great wealth building, tool for them, and just, handhold them along the way. But first time home buyers can be great. Now, $100,000 share, that's hard. Like that, I think y'all are like us. I mean, it would be about impossible in Nashville to find anything for 100,000, that most people would want to live in. But, that makes it a little challenging. But like I just sold a first time home buyer couple last month, and they're probably close to 40, and they're excited. They were super easy, but they have kids, and I don't know. It was just an easier process. But anyway, they like I personally love it because I feel like home buying or home ownership is such an important thing. To be able to help people, do that for the first time is gratifying for me. And not to say there aren't some of the bumps that Jeff was talking about, for sure. They're all nervous, like, for sure.
Yeah.
They get nervous.
Share whenever you're able to come back on. I want to just one thing I want to hit with that too. And Melanie, just so you know, I put in the chat here. This is something that I've used, over the years. It was something I learned back in my days with Craig Proctor with his coaching. We had all these different guarantees that we came up with, and different kinds of just USPs, unique selling propositions, ways to make yourself stand out from the crowd of realtors. Like, why should a buyer hire you? Why should a seller hire you? So one of the things that we did was this right here. And I'll just share my screen so you guys can even see it. Let me just pull this up. Hold on a minute. That's not it. Hold on a minute. It's there in the, I'm sorry. Hold on. I should have this up and ready. My bad. Talk amongst yourselves. Let's see. Let's see.
Well, while he's doing that, since he had this on the screen Friday, we're having our EXP's Chief Learning Officer is doing a business planning clinic for 2026. It's a special event that we're having. It's at 11 Central Time, 9 Pacific, 12 Eastern. Same link. So it's this Friday. So mark your calendar and, come and get your plan for 2026. As you're doing your own business planning.
Yeah,
he's gonna walk us through how to do your business plan.
And I know, Cher, you're looking at this, and maybe Leanne, any of you guys that if you can invite people to this, invite guests to it. I sent out a whole big invite yesterday, actually today, to a bunch of people. And again, so anybody can come to this. This is not an EXP thing, but again, just a way to add value to other agents, and it could open that door for conversation this time of year, especially about making a move to EXP. And that is one thing, Cher. Again, because I know it's tight and stressful, and husband unemployed and all that stuff. And I get it. I remember last year for us, oh my gosh, the holidays, it was like we were stressed. I mean, it was just tight. It was hard. But having that revenue share coming in every month from other agents who you've showed EXP to, because everybody's closings are down. But when that builds up big enough, it can be a fairly consistent check coming in every month, which helps.
Yeah.
And this is something you could invite people to that any agent will come to and get value out of it. So anyway, okay, let me go back here to I'm sorry. Here, right here. So this is something I shared this with some of my group the other day. I can make this a little bit bigger. Hold on. Where do I do that? On this page. How do I make it bigger? Oh, right. No. How do I make that bigger?
You hit Control and then scroll your mouse up.
Oh, wow. Look at you. Who said that? Is that Melanie?
Yeah.
Thank you so much. So this is something that I've done. We've done this with buyers like a lot, especially if I know I'm competing with other agents, or I'm going to go meet with a buyer and they're interviewing other agents, or I'm on the phone with them. It's a lead that came in, and I want to set them up on a home search, try and win them over. They haven't signed on with anybody. Well, no, we don't want. We're already getting listings from 3 other realtors. We don't need any more. Thank you. Hey, real quick, just so you know, I'm the only one in town that has an 18-month buyer guarantee. If you decide to work with us and buy any home with us using our services, we are going to cover you for 18 months. If you get in there and you're unhappy for any reason whatsoever, you don't like the next door neighbor, it's too far of a drive to work, you wish you had bigger bedrooms, just anything, whatever, we are going to cover you. We will either sell the house for free or we'll buy it back from you. Now, you don't have to do the buyback thing. That's a guaranteed sale program, a little more complicated, but I never had to buy a house, and I could explain that later. But you could always just do this second part down here, sell for free. And here's what happens on this, and this is all spelled out. I just added this in like as an attachment to the buyer agreement that I signed with them, the buyer agency agreement. So with this, the parameters on it are that they need to be, I'm going to list their house and sell it for free. I will do zero on my side. We are going to put 3% or 2.5% or whatever it is to pay the buyer's agent who's going to bring a buyer into that house when I list it. We are going to pay them, but the parameter is they need to be buying another house with me. So I will cover them and help them find the house they like, whatever that works better for them. But I'm going to get paid when they buy that house because I'm going to get the 3% over there on that house. So I'm not working for free. I'm going to list their house for free because they've only been in the house maybe for a year. There's not much equity. I'm going to work with them to help them get out of that house. Okay. But there are those parameters. Well, we got, we lost the job. We got to go back to rent. I'll work with them. I'm not going to beat them up with that, whatever. It's not, something that happened there. But again, I'm not going to sell it for free. I mean, we're going to work on that. I'm going to make money. We're getting transferred out of state. Well, we decided to move closer to family in another city, whatever. They're not going to buy another house with me. This doesn't apply. I can list your house the normal way. But here was my point, like with what Cher was saying, like here's one thing to give to like first-time buyers. This helped us a ton with first-time buyers. Again, 3 days before closing, a week before closing, and they're nervous and they're scared. Oh my gosh, should we have done this? Maybe we shouldn't do it. We had those. All of a sudden they back out of the deal. Whatever, and you're starting over with them, and it can be so frustrating. Are you kidding me? Whatever. And this would help. I would always bring this up. Hey, just remember, we got you covered. We looked at 30 houses, and you found this one. You're getting a great deal. You got a great rate. I'm not. At the end of the day, I will back you up whatever you want to do. But we've got you covered. If you get in there and you're not happy, then we're going to cover you with this. And once they get in there and they get settled in, I mean, I had to use this maybe 5 or 6 times. But I always got paid. Again, it led to another deal because they're buying another property with me. So I had no problem. Now, again, you don't have to do this part right here, the buyback. That's a whole nother program that falls into that. We could talk about that another time. But that is one way to help with, getting some of those buyers, off the fence, getting them to work with you, especially right now with the NAR settlement last year. We almost have to do a buyer presentation for people. Why should you hire me as opposed to these other agents? And show your value. Now, here's why I charge 3% or 2.5% or whatever you charge. That's up to you, But that's one way to handle that. Show them the value because it can't just be, well, I'm a chauffeur going to drive around looking at houses. I mean, it's like, what are you going to do for me? Buyers want the best deal. They want the best rates, which again, that's up to the lender, but you can help with that. They want to be covered in the inspection. They want help in that process. You got to show your value, and now they will hire you and pay you.
And
if they want to beat you up on commission, well, I'm not going to pay you anything, whatever. It's like, cost is a factor in the absence of value. If you don't show your value, they're going to beat you up on price. If you show all the things you're going to be doing for them from start to finish, holy cow, yeah, you're definitely worth 3%. Whatever, and we see that and we get that. So yeah, we'll sign all day long. So anyway, I put that in the chat, that home buyer satisfaction guarantee. You can copy, duplicate, rip it off, whatever you want to do. Just it's one way to help with that. And I thought about that with Cher when she was talking as far as her buyer, definitely better to back out now at this stage in the process. But for some of those buyers that come in, that can be a good tool. So.
And you can take that and modify it as you want, right?
Oh, totally.
You don't have,
make it
you don't have to have it set in
with it.
stone. Like if you want to make the terms different, then you can make the terms different. But that's a good, that's a good outline of how to start if you want to, do that program. So that was great, Jeff.
Hello, Joel. How are you?
Hey, what's going on?
We were waiting on you. We're just ready. We're ready to start now. Okay, everybody, pay attention. Joel is a master at everything we're doing here now.
Yeah, right.
Joel, how long you been in the business? You've been around a long time. How long?
I mean, I've been an actual glorified salesman since '09.
Yeah.
But I was on the mortgage side. I closed out of that business in '06, took a couple of years off, and then I got on the sales side. So I've been on kind of both sides of it.
Right.
Since '98.
Okay.
Yeah.
Where are you located?
Until Sunday, McKinney, and then we'll be in Van Alstyne.
How's the market been there this year for y'all?
It's a buyer's market.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if you're a buyer, it's a good market. It's definitely a good market for sure. I mean, I didn't wait to move because it was a good market, because it was a good buyer's market. We're just happened to end up at that time, but it's really it's the first time I've ever seen. I mean, I don't really do very much residential. Most of my stuff is land and commercial, but the residential, it's the first time I have seen $600,000-700,000 houses where they're taking $100,000 off the house. I mean, that's a lot that's 20%. It's the first time I've seen that. Yeah, it's a lot of money off these spec homes. So and even the D.R. Hortons, the big fat cats are taking a lot of money off. They're driving these rates down also. I mean, you're paying for it, but they're driving these rates down to 3% just to get you to come in and buy.
Yeah.
But and I think the rates are, I really think, I was at a conference this past weekend, and on the commercial side, we had a couple heavy hitters that are institutional buyers that came in, and they said essentially, whoever has a bucket of money is going to kill it this next year. So
Yeah.
I think that, and part of that is because the rates are going to come down, so there's going to be flooded with money. There'll be a lot of money. So on the residential side, that'll help the residential business for sure.
If that happens, I mean, they talked about the rates coming down this year, and they really didn't. So, well, they did a little bit because they had hit the sevens, low sevens. So I guess they did.
I think they're going to come down. I mean, I really honestly, I mean, if he was the true king, he would make himself the Fed chair and the rates would come down. But I do see the rates are going to come down. I mean, they're going to drop them again here in December. I suspect, I don't know this for a fact, but I think they'll come down a point by this time next year, a full point.
And if they do, that would definitely open up the floodgates for sure.
Yeah.
If that's
just a personal opinion. I don't
what do y'all think about the 50-year mortgage?
I mean,
what are y'all's thoughts?
I don't know. I'm not a big fan.
I think it's just him, Trump, just getting it riled up,
Take forever to build up equity.
For a 50 year.
What's that?
I said I'm too old for 50 years. I'm not going to be working 50 years.
Yeah, for it.
Maybe you better buy it when you're 20.
Yeah. Of course, we never. Yeah.
I think what's more exciting is I think the administration is going to try to unravel Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, and I think that will be a good thing for us.
Yeah, I think that's definitely in the works.
There was this yesterday. I posted this yesterday in our workplace group, our Facebook group. I put it in my newsletter I send out on Monday, but this was from NAR last week. I mean, so a lot of good things in here as far as just, kind of a forecast for this next year, which again, nobody has the crystal ball. There's any number of things, but, but there was some really good stuff in here about rates and all these different pieces that they're looking at, whatever jobs, mortgage applications, builder activity, this is something to just take a look at and read and be aware of, of course, price reductions, job inventory trends, job growth. So something there. And then I did see this too. I posted this yesterday just on my regular page because I saw this, we have a lot of people doing like the new construction funnel, new construction price cuts surge, reaching highest level in 5 years. They continue to drop, price cuts on new homes at a 5-year high in November, 41% of builders lowering prices amid economic uncertainty, according to the NAHB Wells Fargo Index. Builders averaged a 6% price cut in November. 65% also offered incentives like rate buydowns in November. So,
man, I'm surprised it's only 60% on that.
Yeah.
Or 41%.
As far as builders, yeah. Well, we had one here in town, Richmond American Homes, which they're nationwide. I know a couple months ago they all change their incentives all the time, but a couple months ago they had $60,000 worth of incentives. We got the rate down to 3.25% for some buyers. We had 4 new construction homes close in a month, and whatever, and that was part of it. I mean, it was that right there. So anyway. Definitely just things to watch and be aware of, I think. Number one, it's just encouragement to some degree for all of us. We need that. But
so, for Cher.
What's going on,
Oh, go ahead. Sorry,
no,
Jeff.
Go ahead.
So for Cher and Melanie and anybody, that's really trying to drum the business up, like one of the things to do is just go and learn about the incentives that the builders are giving and do a couple of videos on your social media page. And I wouldn't give the details about who the builder is. I would just say, maybe do a video tour of a home in a neighborhood and just say, I'm in X town. Look at this new construction home that you can buy. And there's incentive that, I can help get you a rate at 4% or 3.5%, whatever that incentive is that they're offering. Call me for the details. Or DM me for the details, or comment here, in the comments for the details, right? I mean, buyers, if I'm a buyer, I would flock to that type of ad that I saw on social media, or somebody shooting a video about me being able to find a home for 3.5%, 4% interest. And that's free, just do some videos with some different builders in different areas. And again, I wouldn't give the builder away because you don't want them just going directly to them, but just give some highlight information, show them a house, right? Look, you can get into this home for $2,000 a month, like less than what you can rent for, or whatever, the scenario would be in your town. I know Cher doesn't like working with buyers, but anyway, so that's for buyers, for sure. And then using Jeff's guarantee and modifying it for sellers, right? What are some guarantees you could give sellers, right? Your home sold, and if your average days on the market 60 days, right? Your home sold in 90 days or less, or we sell it for free, or sorry. Your home sold for 90 days, and or we give you $1,000 at closing, right? If it's not, or something.
All kinds of things you can do. Yeah, your home sold guaranteed, and take your days on market, maybe add a week to 10 days to it, just to kind of cover yourself.
I'd add 30 days, but whatever.
You'd add 30 days. I wouldn't add 30 days. I would just, here's the thing, but again, it's like some conditions apply. So it's your program. It's like they almost they have to agree on your pricing. They have to agree on certain price drops, every so many days and things like that. And if they don't agree to that, that's fine. I can still list your house. This guarantee is not going to work for you in that.
Right.
But your home's, let's say the average days of my market is 60 days. I could say your home sold in 70 days guaranteed, or I'll sell it for free. I would do that all day long. The phone will ring, and I'll get listings. You want people to ask how does that work?
That's right.
And now
the point is getting in front of them. Exactly.
When can I come see your house to see if your house even qualifies? Whatever. Let me get in the door. Find out what they're looking to do. Whatever. Your home sold in 70 days guaranteed, or I'll pay you $3,000 at closing. I'm still going to get a $15,000 commission. I'll give them $3,000 back. Get $12,000. I do that all day long. Yeah. There's so many things you can do like that. Again, it's just like for Melanie, it's just ways to make yourself stand out amongst every other realtor, because
that's right.
When you're in the door, or you're getting a call, you get a seller lead, and they're talking to 3 and 4 agents. It's like they're going to interview 3 or 4. Why should they hire you? Please, I'm new. I need a closing. That's not going to work. Please, my husband's
and I would never tell anybody.
I'm so desperate right now. I need. I'm just like, we all know that's not going to work. I'm making fun of it, but it's just. But why should a seller hire you? This is the biggest transaction of their lives, and they've got to have a reason why you stand apart from all the rest. And that's how I got 2.5 years into it. I'm in the top 20 in town at this little company, A1 Real Estate Professionals with 5 agents. I learned, and I say this all the time, my webinars, all these things, I'm the brand. EXP is not the brand. Remax isn't the brand. Keller Williams isn't the brand. You're the brand. Nobody had heard of me. Whatever. There's 5,000 agents here in town. I'm brand new. And it's because I learned marketing. I learned how to set myself apart from all these other agents. So I'm going in and I'm meeting these sellers, and they've met with 2 others of the top 20 in town. Whatever. And they meet with me, and I've got guarantees like this in place, and how I'm going to work with them and how I'm going to market their house. And I'm going to put a sign out front that says, buy this home and I'll buy yours. Like the phone's going to ring like crazy. The more demand we can create on your house, pricing is all about, supply and demand. If I can create the more demand on your house, it's logical that I could get you a better price. And here's why our homes are selling at 98.9% of the asking price, when the average, and I would show, here's the average across town. I take all our homes that sold in the last month in our MLS, and they sold for 94.3%, whatever, because everybody's getting price cuts. Mine are selling at 98.9. Let's look at, what does that mean for you? Let's take your price. Let's say if you list it with a regular realtor and you're getting 94.3, it's this much, and I'm covering my 3% and then some. And then I'm gonna have all these guarantees. Like, okay, you're hired. Well, and then I get 4% sometimes on many of these. They'd pay me more because I'm showing my value. Cost is a factor in the absence of value. I show my value. They're like, yeah, we'll work with you, and we'll actually pay you more because we want to get this done. We want to get it sold as quickly as possible, as pain-free as possible. We don't want the hassle of 50 buyers coming through our house over the next 6 months because we still haven't sold. Do you want that, or do you want me to get it sold and get you moved on so you can get with your grandkids up there in Illinois? I can help you do that quicker, sooner than later. You could be there for Christmas if you want, if you hire me. I mean, I'd have these kind of conversations, emotional and practical, and money in the bank and days on market. And if we sell it in 30 days and the average is 90 days, and that's 2 months of mortgage you didn't have to pay, which you're not getting back because most of it's interest, there's another $6,000 in your pocket. Because all that's a factor. Okay, Jeff, you're hired. Boom. Just show them all that. And I'm in the top, and here I am now in the top 20 in town, and I'm 2.5 years in. And I've learned that I'm the brand. You're the brand.
Well, and I'd like to just kind of backtrack a little bit. So just, especially with Melanie being new and Cher, I don't know how long you've been in the business, but
20 years.
You're not always competing, right? I mean, I think NAR says 67% of the agents or sellers hire the first agent they talk to, or buyers hire the first agent they talk to. So you're not always competing, but all these things Jeff is talking about get you in the door. Offering a guaranteed sale. And it's what he said. You just want them to say, how does that work? And then now you can schedule an appointment to go meet with them. Goodness.
Real quick, Lyle had a question, and Lyle, maybe you can't turn on your camera or your mic, which is totally good. I know you're busy. You might be driving or something too. But Joel, Lyle had this question over here in the chat. Why do you think Fannie being dismantled will help agents?
Anything the government's involved in is terrible.
Most
of my boys are in the military, and it's a disaster. So I've been on the finance side before. They have the market will move better options than just your cookie cutter square deals. And so I just think it will open. So for instance, Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac have their guidelines with your credit scores or whatever like that. And you take for investors or just take self-employed people. The market will open up more in a private sector for that market, because they're going to look at, is the family or the person creating income or not? Are they writing everything off? Yeah, they're using the tax codes based on the way they're supposed to. Well, Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac really is for W-2 employees. That's it. And so those people are never winning the game. Typically, they pay their houses off in 30 years. So I just think that in general, you will open the market more to the private sector. And, the Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, they're just, and they're not run well. So I think that will open the market. It will definitely help the real estate agents for sure. Now you will be able to, you'll just, yeah. Does it make sense? I had to take my note through a lender that made sense because we write everything off.
Yeah. I
did not want to pay the federal government any money, so we write everything off. So I had to go through a private lender to be able to so I didn't have to put down tons of money on a residential home. So I just think if you will open it to the market, and that's the main reason why. It'll be a good thing for everybody.
Yeah.
And you won't have elected officials overseeing Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac. So
makes sense.
Short.
Yeah.
So short.
Totally.
What do you think of this? And I don't know if you guys heard about this. There was another thing last week that was kind of thrown out there, like the idea, and I think it came from Trump, like transferable mortgages, which they do in Canada, they do in the UK. You can take your existing mortgage and move it over to your new house.
I like that.
You know,
I heard that too. I like it a lot.
Think it would work because of our system being different than the UK and Canada, whatever. There'd have to be a lot of big changes made. But again, it was another thing. I've got a 3% rate here, a 2.8% rate, but I want to go buy a house, but I'm so locked in here. And you could now you have to come up with the difference. You'd have to finance the difference or come out of pocket with you're buying a house that's $800,000 and whatever your mortgage here is for $400,000. Somehow you have to refinance that other $400,000 or whatever you're going to do, come up with your cash it's tricky to do, but there was talk of that also kind of came up last week, transferring from one house to another, taking your mortgage with you. I'm like, that's different. I never heard of that, whatever, but digging into it a little bit this weekend, I was like, okay, that is something they do in Canada. They do it in the UK, different mortgage system than what we have here. They were talking about reasons why they didn't think it would work here, at least not the way it exists right now. But again, it's another thing that's kind of been thrown out there and being talked about. They're looking for ways to jumpstart some things. I do think just people's confidence needs to come back.
Yeah.
It's the rates, but it's also just I think if people, I don't know, if prices can start coming down, I'm talking like groceries and gas and some of this other stuff that people just feel, I think it's just people's confidence.
Yeah.
Just kind of needs to come back because it's just been like, man, it's been a crazy
and
year,
tough for people. Yeah.
Whatever. So one of the things I just want to show you guys too, and again, just you probably maybe some of you guys do this, but again, to come up with ideas, and Melanie, this is something to think about. But again, like new construction right now being just a hot thing out there.
Yeah.
I mean, it came out a month ago, whatever, like new construction prices on average are for the first time ever lower than resale averages, whatever. It's like there's just some great deals out there and people are looking. I'm getting ready to turn on my new construction funnel again. I haven't for a while, but we're going to turn it on again and just pick up some more leads for that and go do some of those. I love doing them because they're so easy to do. The builders handle everything. But you could come up with, I went into ChatGPT and I just gave it this prompt. I just did this while we were on here. I said, I want to do a 5-part YouTube playlist on why buyers need to work with a realtor when buying a new construction home. The fact that every person from the sales office to the closing works for the builder, how we will bring in an unbiased inspector, and more. Please give 5 ideas for a playlist. ChatGPT came back and gave me, whatever, episode 1, the truth about builder salespeople. They work for the builder, not you. And then the hook and what to explain. Episode 2.
It did all that?
It did all this just now. Yeah, I just did this. Like,
GPT.
And this took 30 seconds. I mean, whatever. Yeah. Episode 2, the contract trap. What builders hope you don't notice. Episode 3, inspectors matter more on new homes. Here's why. Negotiating with builders, the secrets they don't tell you. Closing day surprises, how your agent saves you thousands. Now, again, I could keep going with this down here. It gives you bonus ideas. Please write me the script for those 5 videos. And it would do that. I didn't do that here because it's going to be a mile long, 5 2-minute long video scripts, which I could then take if I wanted to, and I could put that into a prompter on my phone or computer and literally read it. And, Big View, Descript, there's all these different companies out there. They're like, pay $100 a year and it will take the eye movement out so you can't tell you're reading it. It will lock in your eyes and it looks totally natural. It looks like you're just talking to the camera. You could put in some B-roll. You could put in some music. You could go into a new construction model home and walk through the home while you're reading it off of your screen, so they see behind you the model home, and you could then take that and edit it. I could take that and do a 5-part series on that. I could cut those into shorts and be posting those. I could do a 10-part series. I could do this same thing with, FSBOs, expireds, empty nesters, first-time buyers, move-up buyers, 55 plus communities, golf course communities, waterfront property. I mean, you name it, anything where niches, divorce, probates, and have ChatGPT come up with the scripts. And I can have playlists on my YouTube channel that are all these. I could send a link to those playlists out to my database. New leads coming in. If it's a new construction lead, let me send that playlist. Here's why you need to work with a realtor, because there are all those people out there. Well, let's just go into the sales office because we're going to save a whole bunch of money, not have to pay a realtor. That price is already worked in, and they don't know that.
That's right.
But that will work. It'll play all that out, and you could come up with a playlist and videos and all kinds of stuff. We're like, wow, we got to hire Melanie. We got to hire Cher. We need to call Cher. She's the expert on new construction homes. And again, ChatGPT, it's one of the best ways to use it, I think, as far as to come up with these ideas. You could do a blog on that. Give me a 5-part blog series on it, and you're posting 5 days. This week, whatever. Be sure to watch. You're posting every day. Your blog, part 1, part 2, part 3, part 4, part 5 on why you need to use a realtor. Do a video series with the blog. Put it out there all over your social media. There's so many things we could be doing, especially right now while it is a little slower, to just become the expert, but to generate leads. I mean, and right now the builders, the builders are still busy. They're still busy. You drive by here in Colorado Springs, you drive by any of the new construction like sales offices, and I'm telling you, on a weekend, there's cars everywhere. And so many of those people do not have a realtor.
Because they're doing those incentives.
Yeah. And they're marketing those incentives. Well, let me take those incentives. Let me call the builders and find out what they're offering right now.
That's right.
Whatever. And now let me start marketing those incentives without telling them who the builder is.
That's right.
Without telling them where the neighborhood is. You need to come to me. Here's what we can do. You need to, reach out. And I can do a whole video on that and post on that and get people coming to me to ask me more, tell me more.
Yeah.
How does that work? Again, you want people to ask you, how does it work? You don't want to just give it all away. You want them to call you. How does it work? And now they become a lead, and now you're meeting them for coffee, or you're meeting them at the house, and you're showing them different things, and now you're working with them. They sign on with you. So hopefully that makes sense. It's just, ChatGPT is a great way to come up with some of this kind of stuff, So anyway, I just want to put that out there. The new construction right now, but again, as we got some time here, I don't know, December's always slow no matter what the market's like. I mean, it's a great time to just, once you get going with this, and I will tell CapCut, I'm using CapCut. Andy uses CapCut. First time I used CapCut, it took me 4 hours to do my first video. Oh my gosh, I was trying to figure out, clicking on this and screwing up. ChatGPT came in handy because you can ask it about it. I'm in CapCut and I'm trying to do this. How did I do it? And I was taking screenshots and putting them in, and it just answered the whole thing. It got me through it. There's videos on YouTube you can watch on how to do it. So that kind of stuff. But now I can go in and put together a video in 15 minutes. Done. Out the door. Music, captions, B-roll, transitions, all that stuff, depending on how long the video is. Like a 2-minute video, I could have that thing done literally in 15 minutes if I wanted to. Because again, like anything, the more you do it, the easier it gets. You just learn it. Canva. Oh my gosh, first time I used Canva. Wow. What the heck? All over the place, Now, I don't know, give me 5 minutes and I can post that thing that I posted for that training we got on Friday with, the business planning. It's just not that hard to do once you learn it. So. And
Melanie, if you don't know already, or anybody else new here, we get the Canva Pro for free, being with EXP for free. So you get the highest level of Canva.
What's that?
I said I'll cancel it on my personal one. I just saw that yesterday.
Yeah, no, you should. Yeah, just cancel it. It's included. Yeah. Might as well not. Why pay for it? So, but no, great tool. A lot you can do with it. Again, thumbnails for your videos. Facebook posts. Graphics for different things. There's so much you can do with that. Great presentations. Yeah. There's all kinds of things they'll do. And all these things now have AI features built into it. You know, your phone
Yep.
has AI built into it.
Right. Everything.
So, but anyway, lots
Does
of ways to
anybody-
come up with ideas for newsletters, for posts, for videos, for blogs, for, you know, I use that stuff all the time and just help me come up with a post. I want to do a post on this, you know, whatever. There's a few things I want it to say, so I'll put that in there like that one, and then it'll just take off and run with it. Go ahead, Kathy. I'm sorry, I cut you off.
I was just going to say, you know, for the last 10 minutes, if anybody had anything, you know, that's come to their mind or that they want to ask for these last 10 minutes.
Anybody else? Leanne's working, I know. Lyle's busy. Lyle's new with us. It's good to have you here, Lyle. I will call you today.
Welcome,
Okay.
Lyle.
If you have some time, we'll catch up for a minute, but here to help. Share. I don't know if you heard. Did you hear any of that talk? And you could go back and watch the recording here, but I talked a lot about that buyer guarantee. After
Yeah,
you
I
went away.
downloaded a copy of that.
Okay. Yeah. I think I emailed it to you last week too, for our Monday thing. The buyer guarantee and a couple of those other ones I've used. So things you can play around with. Just kind of helps with some of those first-time buyers. You know, they get in there and
Right.
whatever, get them over the hump of fear.
Yeah, for sure.
Since you love working with buyers so much,
Buyers.
I want to pick up more and more. The new construction buyers are easy. I do like that.
Yeah, they are. They're much easier. And like you said, a lot of times the sales rep, you know, they write the contract. They do all
They
the
do the contracts. They
lifting.
do everything. You know?
They do the heavy lifting for sure.
But it is important to train, to educate the buyers on why they need to work with you when it comes to new construction. You know, because so many of them don't know. We had a training. I could find it. I'll find it and put it in the chat. We had a training here probably a year ago or so. Remember that guy that came in? I forget. He was with the.
Yeah, he used to work new construction. Mm-hmm.
But he used to work new construction in the sales office for years, and now he's an EXP agent. And so he had a whole training on like, here's why, you know, buyers need to hire an agent.
Yep.
You know, here's the things that they don't understand. And, you know, again, just a good video to watch to even give you ideas to post your own blogs and material, that kind of stuff, and to educate people. I'll find that here real quick. Here it is. Why you need a realtor. Mastering New Home Sales, Rob Sandifer. Here, I'll put this link in the chat so you guys have it. It's a good video to watch. He just has a good background with the new home sales, and so now realtor. That was really good. Why you need to hire a realtor.
I mean, I think a lot of what we talked about today, if anybody's needing business or trying to ramp it up, everything we've just talked about today is just a good angle. Because new construction homes are still selling. New construction homes have those incentives that are being offered. You know, you don't have to argue with the seller back and forth about, you know, every nickel and dime. You know, you've got these good incentives already built in with these new construction. They're new houses. People like new houses a lot of times, right? There's so many benefits to, if you'll just shoot, and I think shooting videos is the best way. Like Jeff just said, he gave you 5 ideas with ChatGPT, right? You could put your own questions in ChatGPT and tell them to, you know, give you 5 outlines or 5 videos, you know, why somebody needs an agent when they're buying new construction, right? You know, any multitude of questions you can ask and create a list of things to talk about around new construction.
This site, I just put it in the chat. I've pulled some things out of this site for the newsletter I do, but it's primarily around new homes. It does talk about, like, here's an article about the 50-year mortgages. But it has a lot of some different things, you know, down here, primarily about new homes, you know, but other articles as well. Some of them break down specific markets and stuff, but there's just some good stuff here as far as, you know, some of the things going on with new home construction, you know, what buyers are looking for, you know, whatever, just some different things. So you can just a site to click around, housing market trends, you know, just think when it comes to new home stuff. Some things to be aware of maybe, but again, I'll give you ideas to even educate your prospects, your clients, with, and ideas for your own channel, your own YouTube, your own website. Have a section on there for new home construction, new home stuff. So just some things there. But anyway, geez, Joel left and didn't say goodbye. I'm done with Joel. So no.
How rude.
Anything else, guys? We can go another 5 minutes, or we can wrap it up too.
Yep.
I really need a shower. I'm just saying.
TMI.
No, I'm drinking my coffee. I do have
You
a
put your
Zoom
makeup
meeting.
on, like me in the chair. Put your makeup on for your next meeting.
Yeah. I do have a Zoom meeting in a half an hour. I got time.
Yeah, well, it's debatable about putting that makeup on, because then you ask yourself, is it worth it? Got to save your money on the makeup.
Mine's more like, then you got to take it off at night. That's
another thing.
Share real quick, and just don't hesitate to reach out if you need help in terms of reaching out to agents, because I know you're starting to do that as well.
Yeah.
I was happy to help there. Especially getting that going at first is always, just like, again, you just learn as you go,
Right.
I can't tell you how many calls I've made over the years where it's just like, why did I say that? Or I didn't know how to answer something or whatever, or ask them a question and just, or they asked a question and it kind of threw me a little bit, whatever. But, again, we're here to help with it. And it is nice. Like I think I mentioned when you were gone, it is a nice thing to have in play when the market slows down, or when you go through the challenges that just come up in life, your husband being unemployed, just some different things. It's just, it's just nice to know that there's money coming every month, and anyway, so good piece to add here. I know you're getting started on that. So happy to help with that in any way we can.
Yeah.
Come tomorrow to the Q&A. I know you're there a lot on Thursdays, so.
And Mondays. Do you come on Mondays, Cher?
I did this last Monday, yes.
Yeah.
And I try to, for the most part.
And have you even listened to Sean's calls, what he's doing? Have you been on any when he's done his live calls?
I have not had the opportunity to get in on his calls yet.
So there's a couple of recordings. If you go back, recent recordings, if you look in the Freedom Team Community Facebook page, there's a couple of recordings you'll find there. But he's also doing those live on most Tuesdays and Thursdays. What time is it, Jeff?
I'm not sure what time he does them. Is it noon?
Always the same time. It's like 11 to 1 or something. I don't know. It's sometime in that mid-afternoon, late morning, early afternoon. Anyway, but to get started, you can go back and listen to a couple of those trainings he did over the last 2 Mondays. It's excellent and good script he's using and what have you. So that may be helpful for you.
Okay.
As you're talking to agents.
Sounds good. I'll do that. Thank you.
Yeah.
Cool.
Melanie, it was nice meeting you.
Yeah, nice to meet you. Welcome. It's good to have you here.
Yes. Welcome to the family.
Ian, Sydney, good to see you. Lyle, I will text you or call you here. I got your text, so I will call you. Okay.